Hey guys, alright, so with part of this month we are doing all the stuff that is related to caring for your reptiles, and part of that is providing them with the correct heat. Now a lot of people kind of get a little bit stuck on this when they're trying to choose the right heat source. I'm going to go through a couple with you at the moment. Now what I'll do is I'll focus more on the heating coming from a light source as well as an alternative which is called an emitter. So when you're looking at a heat source, you've got to kind of realize what you're trying to do. So when you're trying to find what heat source works for you, you need to look at what reptile you have or what reptile you are about to buy. Now, if you're about to buy a basking reptile, so something that comes out during the day, warms up on a rock or a log or on the road, you're going to want to steer more towards what's called a basking light. So a basking light is going to be one of these. They're a clear light. They produce a lot of heat. It's directional. It has a film around it which pushes it all down onto a spot, and normally under that spot we're going to jam a couple of rocks or some logs, or maybe even some logs and a rock, or some sort of rock feature that we can buy through a pet store, like ours or any others around there. So that is a really good light for anything that you want to have something to bask. So even blue tongues are really good. Obviously bearded dragons, your monitors and everything else that sort of comes out and heats up onto a rock. Now when you're looking at say a snake which come out of a late afternoon, unless you're talking about a lot of species in a lap, it's where they come out during the day, which again you can use your basking lights. But when you're talking say carpet pythons and a lot of the other stuff like water pythons, you're going to find that they come out later in the afternoon and they will heat up on rocks or on the road. After the sun's gone down, they're going to soak up that, they're going to heat, then they're going to go out and look for food. So what we recommend for a reptile like that is you can use one of these. All right, these are also really good if you want to produce a 24-hour heat. So 24-hour heating can be for say hatching bearded dragons. You are more than able to use these. We just prefer that you use the brighter ones. So if you want to set up like a night light, that's really easy, and you can use a red light for that. There's a plenty amount of thermostats out there that'll run day and night through two different outlets that you can hook up to that, as well as like your Evo stats and that. They'll do different fittings and that too. So that's really good. You can do that. Now if you're looking at nocturnal stuff that requires it to be dark but you want to give them a fair bit of heat, if you're from like the southern areas or you're in the parts of towns which does get down to single digits, we can use what's called a night light. So a night light is one of these purple ones, and they're really good. They don't have that film around the top, so they aren't directional, and what they'll do is they'll emit a small soft heat that'll come out great for like your geckos. Again, other species of frogs and that, they do like some heat, which is good to give them a little bit of that if you've got a setup at home or you do want to set up a frog environment at home. Now what we can do from there is we can set up a emitter. So emitter is a ceramic globe, looks the same as a normal globe that you use for heat, like this. Now those are really good at producing heat. Now inside, the internal diameter of those can reach upwards of nearly 350 degrees, so it is recommended if you're going to have one of them, put a cage around it like any other heat source that you would protect it. They are extremely good at producing heat and they radiate. Now the problem with some of those is that if you have them on an on-off thermostat, by the time they get up to temperature and they get the environment inside the tank up, you can find that when they turn off, because they're ceramic, they do hold heat. Now that like the holding of heat will then increase your tank temperature even after it's turned off. So that's something to be aware of, guys. We can use other lights as well, which are your mercury vapors. Mercury vapors produce heat as well as UV, and one of the best heat sources you can provide to bearded dragons, monitors, and all of the day basking reptiles. So I hope that helps, guys. We'll go through some other heat options in another video, but for now I'll leave it at that. Like I said in every video, if you want to learn more, guys, come and see me. See ya.